Welcome back, folks, to Let's Replay Realms of the Haunting. And when last we left off, we started to explore this particular part of the house that seems to be a lot more run down and abandoned than the previous part that we were in. We've also found various large, walls, literally walls of text that have been burnt into the actual wall itself, talking about a final battle, about Gaul and Hawk, and about someone called Florentine, who has been declared a fool by whoever is burning these small, paragraphs of text into the walls. We also found a staff that apparently is linked to movement. We've seen the design of that staff before in various locations. We've seen it in the area where we first met Alf. We've also seen it in an area close to here. We've also seen it on both sides of the sarcophagus in the first area where we encountered Adam's father. So we have seen that before in quite a few places. Let's move on, shall we? We've been in here, there was no light there. Let's move on. There's also no light here either. I'm just going to check to see if there are any, there is this here, which doesn't appear to have very much on it.
Doesn't appear to be working.
Indeed, it does not. There are also a lot of dead rats. We're not going to be going anywhere that direction. We are, however, going to have to go this way, into the darkness. And be very careful when we do, because we don't want to get ambushed by any monsters. Like that one there! Hello! How are you? I'm just going to back up here because you're going to keep following me, and I'd much rather not get hit by you. In fact, we could actually just wait for the staff to charge a little more. Seems like a good plan. Gone back upstairs? Yep, by the sound of it. Hello! How are you? I'm just going to hit you with this. There we go. You're going to be able to follow me a little better now, aren't you? Yes, yes you are. Fortunately, they don't take that many shots. Especially charged shots. Right, let's, There appears to be, an area where the lights aren't quite working here. The areas aren't quite, well illuminated up in this part. Also, we don't have a fully charged staff, so we're going to have to be a little careful. It would seem that if we move a little bit, too, fast down this, passageway, they won't actually, be able to get down quick enough. Or rather, the pathfinding won't allow them to get here very easily. Just wait for this monster to get here. In the corner? Yep, there's the monster. Hello. How are you? There we go. Still not dead, but getting there. There we go. Let's explore this area.
That light's gonna drive me crazy.
We need to find a way to turn those lights off. Is there a light switch anywhere? There's another monster? That's not particularly great at all. Fortunately, we have a very large area with which to actually go and outmaneuver this monster. You can see the monster cleared. Oh, there's another one. I can see it over there. We might want to use the shotgun here. Seems like a good idea. We have a lot of cartridges. Here we go! Shotgun! That certainly helped finish off that enemy, and will also give us time for this staff to charge a little more. Hello! I don't want to know how hard you hit, so I'm just going to keep circling around and use the shotgun a little more soon. There we go. Let's see how many more shots it can take. Shotgun! Shotgun! More shotgun! There we go. All gone. Is there anything actually in here that's worth, Nope, would seem nothing. No items, no anything. I think we should just get out of here. Yep, good plan. This room beyond is, it's not illuminated at all, actually. What about down here?
Plenty of this rubble around.
The structure doesn't look too safe, does it?
I hear an enemy. I hear an enemy. Hello! I'm gonna go in here, so that you can't kill me. Hello, you can't get in here. You're quite fast. I just realized you're actually quite fast on your feet. Hello, have a shotgun. In a moment. Let's see how many shotgun shells it takes. 2 more. 3, 4, 5. That's 5 shells as well as a full charge of the staff. But hey, at least we managed to defeat it. What's around here? Apparently nothing, just a very long corridor where there's nothing. I do believe in here though there is a lot of reading to be had. And a light switch, which is really, really handy. Yes, there's a lot of reading to be had here.
Solar system. Venus marked for some reason. Most like Earth of all planets.
Venus. Yes, the morning star. It's another name for Venus.
We have seen reference to the morning star before.
1779. Fleur and Maison.
French.
Mademoiselle, you really amaze me sometimes.
Let's see what's here. Ah, various scrolls and books.
Sketch of somewhere.
Okay.
Solar system.
Venus. Yes, the morning star. It's another name for Venus.
We've already heard that piece of descriptive text, but let's have a look at these.
Also known.
Not quite sure what it's referencing, but actually, there are symbols here, and some of these may have some reference to things we're looking at later, but Venus is a curious choice for the various sketches.
Sketch of somewhere.
Some place we've not yet come across.
Let's have a look. Yeah, we most certainly have not yet come across this place at all. But we have seen something that looks similar than that in the introductory cutscene. There's also this.
Venus. Yes, the morning star. It's another name for Venus.
We also have this inkwell.
Quill and ink. Someone likes to use the old method.
Expensive too. Golden nib.
We'll take it. But what about this book? I get the feeling this book is actually very important.
Wow. This looks like serious stuff. Journal. Leather bound and embossed.
What's the design on the cover? Embossed with the initial F.
There's something sticking out of the pages. Nicely worked silver key.
Ah, there's a silver key. We actually need that key. Also, we most certainly are going to be reading this, because this is most certainly a very important document. Also, F. We've heard of the name F. It's most certainly here. It's Florentine, I believe. Let's have a read. Yep, Claude Florentine. Entry the morning of the 15th of January, 1330. Okay, this is an old journal at the Temple of the Morning Star. No fewer than 22 acolytes have entered the tower since our efforts began 2 weeks ago, with only one returning in the intervening time. This man, Thomas, swore that he had met with someone within the tower who named himself the Gardener. Thomas swore to the power that this Gardener aided him in his escape only moments before the gibbering madness of the ire fell upon him. This experience has had an adverse effect on the man. His body could be used to sate the hunger of the one power, if he proves to be of no further use to us. That's ominous. Goats and poultry can be expensive and sometimes ineffectual. Of a testimony of Thomas concerning the existence of the gardeners, I must say but I am sceptical. Whether what he saw was figment or truth I cannot say, but Belial reliably informs us that the last of the gardeners perished after the fall of the stone. I must take his word as truth. Belial. That's a name we haven't heard yet in this game. Right, next entry is still 1330, 17th of January. Following our initial experiment, it is clear to me that magical means should be employed for safety. After many long hours of reading and speculating, I have located the seal and sigil of the minion... There's a word missing there. What are the lesser powers? Is that I don't know. It's a G and an A, but I don't know the rest of it. It's one of the lesser powers. On the last crossing to the tower, the power's name here I cannot read, heeded my call to guide Belial and I through the labyrinth void, misleading the ire as we travelled. Eventually we happened upon the chamber of the Soulstone within, the realm of Sheol. That's been mentioned to us. Our order now stands upon the threshold of the first of the great days. The first shard of the stone is now prepared. We are preparing up for the next crossing. The stars are aligned and the portents are favourable. For the greater cause of the power, we walk to the tower. For the last time we walk without fear of the ire. Okay, next one is still 1330. All went as planned initially within the Chamber of the Soulstone, but as the first seal upon the first shard was broken by word and power, the very fires of hell rose and welled in all quarters. Belial was by my side with the sword, in an instant to protect me from harm. The sword! Now, as I mentioned to a sword, we've seen a sketch of a sword, but regrettably, I passed out in the heat. When I awoke, it was upon the grass verge beside the smouldering remains of the temple. Whatever fail-safes had been sprung by the breaking of the seal had followed Belial and I, as he had carried me back through the tower to the temple. As fortune would have it, the fire did not spread to my priestly shack by the something word I can't read there, and so all of my most important papers still survive. What puzzles me through this, though, is how Belial managed to escape from both the fire and the ire when 50 acolytes and priests perished in the resulting inferno. Curious. Next entry. Still 1330. Have I made a terrible mistake? By taking the sword from the Soulstone. Oh! Okay. Sword was in the Soulstone. I have inadvertently set in motion a series of events which I am unable to halt. Is the sword some way connected to the Soulstone? Belial cannot touch the thing at all for some reason. Oh, Belial cannot touch the sword. It burns me to the touch now, so much that I have decided to place it in a place of safekeep. My immediate plans for the future are unclear for the moment, but through my contacts, one fact is clear: the first shard and seal are unmade, and the cause of the temple must continue. Belial has promised me acolytes from Europe who would be willing to travel to aid in the rebuilding of a temple. Favours owed, probably. I dare not speculate. Okay, now 1330 again. The sword has disappeared from the safe place in the cottage. I immediately suspected Belial, but then realised my mistake. Last eve, he was as restless as a newborn fowl as we sat conversing in the study. He blamed his uneasiness on the absence of the sword. I'm beginning to believe him now. The thief will be caught and dealt with, mark my words. Next page, still 1330. The tower is as useful as it is dangerous. Once this was not the case, but I am one of the few who has travelled there and on to other realms in the pursuit of the Order's goals and lived. Yes, this Order of the Morning Star that has been mentioned a few times. I can say with all sincerity that the crossings are fraught with all kinds of hidden dangers, even with minions to guide. The ire is constantly present within the tower, whether distant or near. Its unnerving ability to hunt and devour those who come to its place is astounding. I refer to a manuscript that I had sent from have had sent from France concerning the travels of a magician from the last century. There is no mention of any gardeners, or of the tower's past something. The manuscript being the only fragment of a much larger body. Is that condition? No. At last the dark and within. I heard the fetid laughter of the souls of the ire. It came at once unto me, like a storm, charged with rage and gibbous song, hypnotizing and calling the sweet perdition. I ran, for I knew the tales of this long-forgotten place. I ran and stumbled upon the cracked pave of the tower, but it was always there, here and beyond, there and always, its face looming from the shadowy depths. From whence and where did this thing come from? I knew as I fell upon the cold stone, the face of death smiling down. 1420! Right, we've jumped a bit in time. I fear the ire has ravaged this place when the second shard and seal was broken from the same source as 74 years ago. damn the light and burn it from its place. If we are to lose more acolytes and severely deplete our monetary reserves to rebuild the temple each time this occurs, then we must postpone our endeavours for a while until the problem can be solved. Belial, again saving my life in the fire, has whispered to me of an otherworldly device that may aid the Order, but its location and power is shielded from him. We are therefore currently making the necessary plans to travel to Plymouth, and there pay for passage on some merchant ships to Israel. The threat from our old Templar Order there does not bother me so much now that its existence is speculative. If we make Israel in good time, I hope for us to meet there with the minions. Oh, there are some names there that I don't remember. There must be some of the people that work with him, and bargain with them for their aid in our search. They're adept in seeking out the impossible and locating what is hidden. Hopefully our little setbacks will be solved for good. We make the journey south on the morrow. Let's have a look. 1490. They are currently in a merchant ship, bound for England. Let's have a look here. So, let's have a look. Bound for England. We are currently sailing off the southern port of Banholm in the Baltic, and if favourable winds prevail, we will dock at Southampton on the 14th of this month. Our trek through Europe has not only proven successful in aspect of the can't read that word there, but also we've been able to recruit to our order new members, some of them distinguished and rich. They have instructions as to where to meet us in England in the new year. I look forward to their arrival. While in Madrid, I took the opportunity to call on an old friend who was able to disclose secrets of the tower from an old manuscript he had saved from the library before the Inquisition could impose themselves. As I sit here in this salt, stinking cabin, I cannot help but wonder on what Thomas had said to me long ago, given what the scroll discloses. Okay, now we fast forward to 1521. This is still Claude Florentine, apparently. The great powers of the shards have appeared to us. Thankfully, through Abaddon's reasons are his own, he has divulged the secrets of the shards and seals within the chamber of the Soul Stone. It is holding something back, I know it. I have confidence that in his powers yet. Something disturbs Belial, though again he is reticent. No matter how much I think that I know him, I am forever abated in my belief by his petty shows of secrecy. Speaking unto him, we have agreed that it may be for the best of a time if the two do not cross paths. Belial is more than convinced of this. Of the tower, Abaddon has revealed much. The name Raquiel has appeared in our conversation much, and this power appears to have place and dominion within the spiritual realm of Raziel. That must be Raziel. And within the spiritual realm of Raquia for some reason. Abaddon has informed me that Raziel is a neutral power like himself, with the agency of imprisonment and freedom. With the agency of imprisonment and freedom, those that trespass certain laws. I must speak with this power called Raziel at some future point, but a device for passage into Raquia, his realm, is beyond my sight. Abaddon will disclose sites and locations, all the other devices, but I feel the cost of bargaining will be high. I fear that I must agree to its terms all the same. The Egyptian mask and the other devices I now keep secure from the others. With this act, I can be sure that only I may tread the path of the tower, unless permission is asked personally by others. There's a lot to talk about here. The gardeners, the One Power, and the Temple of the Morning Star.
I wonder if the gardener that Florentine mentions in the journal is Raphael. Or is it one of the others? Raphael did say he was the last. That means that there must have been more at some point in the past.
If it is, it means that he's been around as long as Florentine has.
And Florentine has been around a while.
Evidently, the gardener that Florentine mentions in his journal is Raphael. Anything else in the journal to support that?
On return from the tower, Bilal told Florentine that the gardeners had returned, and that they were responsible for the deaths of the demons guarding the gates.
It would seem that Raphael did have some friends.
Just a few. Let's discuss this one power.
The one power. The journal mentions the one power. He's talking about God?
The opposite. Florentine makes a reference in his journal to the one power when a temple member goes mad, and Florentine threatens to use him as some sort of sacrifice.
So they sacrificed their members then. Nice way to do business.
That was in reference to Thomas there. Let's discuss the Temple of the Morning Star itself.
This temple business. Anything in the journal? Anything I've missed?
Seems to be some sort of religious order. According to the journal, there were more than just acolytes working for Florentine. Mentions powers, dark powers.
Yes, it does. Also, we have a key.
Nicely worked silver key.
And I think I know what that key is most certainly going to be used for. Also, we can now hear rain. There's this door here that I don't think we'll be going through for quite a while. Let's head out of here just for the moment. There we go. And let's move on, because we can use that key for one particular purpose. Let's head down here. There we go. I think this key has one use, and there is a small room that we have yet to open something up in. Yes, this. The last of the actual statuettes. With that last statuette, we should be able to go and do something in one particular location. Mainly that sarcophagus. We'll be able to open up that sarcophagus and see exactly what's inside. And while there indeed was a lot of reading in there, in that journal that we have, the journal is actually more important even now than many of the items that we've picked up. It's actually a very, very important item indeed. And we'll be using it later. For now, we're going to have to return next time. For when we come back, folks, we have a few more things that we can talk about. We'll be able to talk about the Observatory, Raziel, Sheol, the Chamber of the Soulstone, and Claude Florentine. And then actually go back to the sarcophagus and see what we can do concerning that and this statuette. But that's it, we are stuck here because the passageway we came through collapsed behind us. But I think there's another way out. I definitely think there's another way out. And when we come back, folks, we'll use it. So, I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.